They were just down by
that
like
was
7
tough, Drew
minutes.
Holiday.
2
Oh
minutes.
shit! Damn, that was tough, Drew Holiday.
34.
Yeah, that was tough. This dude,
Knicks for the Nick.
like at the end of the third,
Just like last year.
at the end of the third, Drew Holiday hit this sidestep mid-range shot from the corner at the buzzer. That one was clean. Ooh, I gotta get that in my bag. I was hooping Sunday, man. I was playing lockdown defense. Not gonna lie, I was shutting shit down. Only thing, we was hooping outside, so my shot wasn't falling. Well, I hit a few threes, but like the wing kept taking my shots.
Where were y'all playing
Defense,
at?
this is court by Anderson Elementary School, on the southwest side. But yeah, we playing outside. There was a lot of us out there, but it was just hella windy, so my shot wasn't falling. But on defense, I was locking the dude up so much, like my hand had got caught in between him. One time he kept trying to post me up, use his strength against me, so I was kind of like using my legs to push him back, and I had my hand poking at the ball, and he had moved the ball one time, my hand got caught, and it was like sore. Like I could barely move it Sunday night, but I feel really good now. Like I used to do this, it used to hurt so much. Now I don't feel no pain.
Oh my goodness. That's going in the top 10. The top 5 plays of the week. Oh no, Trae Young, he broke Taj Gibson's ankles, had him touching earth.
For real?
Like he had him touching earth, like falling back.
Oh god.
No push off or anything.
I think that play that he had at the end of the second quarter gonna be in the top plays. Well, cause that one's pretty. Like, did you see it? It was like a buzzer beater.
Oh no, I don't think I saw it.
Yeah, it was a buzzer beater. Bogdanovich threw it like full court with like 0.6 seconds left. Trae caught it in midair and laid it up, and at the buzzer, and then he was trapping with the fans. All right, Drew. Hot take right here on the Double Dribble podcast. You ready?
All right. Okay, let's go.
I have moved the Celtics into my contenders list. We're pretenders, but I moved them up. They've been playing some great ball. They got some of the best defense in the league. Jason Tatum is playing at an MVP caliber level right now, and
the past month he's been playing great. Like
yes,
probably the past
great.
Maybe 20, 25 games, something like that.
Mm-hmm. Like he's been a freaking monster, and efficient with it too. And they've been
their defense, like it's undeniable. You got to have them. You got to respect them now because their defense is. What are they? Number 2 defense now in the league? Yeah.
I thought they were number 1.
Nah, they number 2 right now. Who is number 1 right now? Maybe it's Miami.
Phoenix.
Probably Phoenix.
Maybe Miami. Yeah, but I moved them into my contenders list because it's some question marks. In the East, I think this East playoffs is going to be like a bloodbath. Yeah,
it's going to be very up in the air.
It's going to be a bloodbath, and I wish I could confidently say like the Bulls would be a part of that, but I just can't because they stars don't show up when it's the great teams. Like I'm watching them play Milwaukee right now, and they're down 20, 22 now, 24 actually. I mean, I know they don't have Lonzo, which is a key part of that team, but
Middleton either.
Yeah, they don't have Middleton. Like you gotta, everybody missing a lot of people, bro. So you gotta find some type of way. So I think the Celtics they've beaten some of these like good teams, and like Miami just I can't say Miami is the full it's like the favorite. Like they just lost to Philly without you know Harden and Embiid,
Yeah, that was an interesting ass
and
game though.
Philly lost to Toronto, and
Yeah, Philly
I
lost to
don't know.
Toronto.
It's
Embiid and Harden looked like trash in that game. Then
yeah,
that was a back to back. Philly Philly has like they had like 3 or 4 guys that weren't even playing most of like the past like I don't know 20 plus games, and they were just out there just hooping like freaking what Furkan Korkmaz. That dude's been
yeah,
straight ass this year. Like he's usually like he's been like in the past like couple years or whatever. He's been like a really streaky shooter for them, but when he gets hot, he'll have some big games.
yeah.
This year he was
Especially
complete
playing with
garbage.
like Ben Simmons.
Yeah, but he was complete garbage this year. Like if you go look at his stats, what he was shooting, and like in the minutes that he was playing, like I think they stopped. He got benched. I want to say like 2 games ago. Because like he was out there with after since the Harden trade, he was getting time, but he was just playing terrible defense, of course, and getting like brick and wide open jumpers. But then for whatever reason, whatever it was, he got we know what it was. He got an opportunity because, they didn't have a lot of people playing. And he showed up that game, but I don't think that he's I don't think that was really reliable now. To me, he's like one of the most streaky players in the league as far as a shooter. But Maxey,
the guy.
Oof.
Wait, what's the take on Maxey?
I don't know. I'm saying Maxey has just been like he was ridiculous in that game. Man was putting on a show. He was hitting side step backs through the legs.
I think he finished with like 28.
Yeah, 28. He had that ridiculous block at the end of the game.
I chased down.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, they were getting hyped. And Shake Milton actually had, to me, that's somebody that they need to be able to like get him back in the fold. I know he got hurt. I want to say he got hurt like earlier this year and he missed some time. Since he came back from his injury, he hasn't really looked like a couple of years ago. Shake Milton was like a pretty good like scoring punch for them.
Yeah,
and this year,
especially that 2020 season.
Yeah,
when Ben Simmons had missed some time, and he was out there like doing what he had to do. I remember him and Embiid got into like an argument in the bubble one time, but he's definitely has some.
He's
talent.
capable. He just has to like get back. Like I feel like after that injury, he's been getting less and less playing time. He's been really inconsistent, and also his play has been inconsistent. Like he was a good shooter, and like now he's been kind of mediocre. But I think that was a big confidence booster for him potentially in that game, because I think that's somebody they need to be able to produce for them, probably going into the playoffs, because they're only going to probably be playing like 8, maybe 9 guys. And he has to be that short. Yeah, he has to be that guy because they don't really have like their bench is a problem. They don't really have like anybody that's like that can like come out there and just like give them some scoring.
Unless they can like kind of like stagger
Maxey,
Harden and Embiid to help out with the bench scoring. But Shake he definitely has the ability to give them that prediction.
I'm just checking right now. This year he's shooting 29% from 3, and he only averaging 8 points a game. He barely playing in comparison, but last year he was like shooting 35% from 3. The year before that he shot 43% in 2020. He shot 43% from 3. And
man, they put Giannis back in the game with 6 minutes left. He coming off an injury. They up 25. They put him back in the game. They trying to get him this scoring title, bro. Come on, man. Let LeBron get that. Get out the game, Giannis.
Man, I already told you, LeBron's gonna get that scoring title. LeBron is not gonna let that scoring title slip by this year. Hell no.
Man, I hope so.
When was the last time LeBron got the scoring title? It was what? Was it 09?
There's some trivia on me. I know this too.
All right. When was I'm gonna check right now. Oh yeah. When was the last time LeBron got the scoring title?
All right.
Don't be looking. Stop cheating. Stop cheating. It's going to be a 2-part
2008.
question. All right. And how many points did he average that year?
30.0.
Yep. Exactly how much
Come
he's
on,
averaging.
man.
Hey, and that's exactly how much he's averaging right now.
I know
That's
these things, bro.
exactly how much he's averaging right now.
And you know, it's crazy. I thought, when, like younger, I was because, like, I not just LeBron, but I used to just study so many statistics and like different basketball. I think I'm like different like history, like who won scoring title this year. Like, it's just random stuff. And it was a year, I believe, in LeBron's third year. LeBron's third year in the league, he was giving you 31 a game. And I'm like, dang, he won scoring title this year. And I look, it was either like
Nope.
and I look, it was either like Allen Iverson or like Kobe or something like that.
It was Kobe for sure.
In
Because I
05,
was,
06.
yeah, that was when Kobe was on his, post Shaq, just ball hog OD days. Do what I want to do. I'm gonna take
Calm down,
however many
Giannis.
shots. Yeah, that was definitely that.
Oh my God, the Bucks up 29. Yeah, that was. I was like, dang, and people like this is a way I can tell if somebody
Yeah, that
is
year
just
that year that LeBron had 31, Kobe was averaging 35.4. It was
and what about
peak Kobe ball
Allen
hog day.
Iverson?
Iverson that year? Was Iverson on that year?
Yeah.
I don't know if he was really up there in that year. I think that was when he was starting to kind of like simmer down a little bit on the ball hogging. 05,
Is it Iverson or Mac?
No, you're right. Iverson was up there too, 33.
Yep, 33. Was he second?
He was second. They were wild in that year, man.
And who was third? Ron?
Brown was third, 31. Yeah,
Ron was third. Dang, third year in the league, 31 a game.
Yeah,
imagine that. And 16 years later, 30 a game.
Mm-hmm.
And this is just one way. Okay, this is something I want to get into.
Do you know? Okay, hold on. I got one more question. Who do you think was the top 5 that year? 05, 06. Kobe was leading the league in scoring. Don't cheat. Kobe's leading the league in scoring. Iverson was number 2 at 33. LeBron was number 3 at 31.4. Who do you think was number 4 and 5? Try and take your mind back. Can you remember 05, 06? Who were the top scorers behind LeBron? Who was 4 and 5? Who do you think?
All right. May I ask how many points did they average?
Number 4 averaged 29. Number 5 averaged 27.
Okay. 5 had to be D Wade.
Mm-hmm.
Is that right?
D Wade.
And 4. I'm tempted to say T Mac.
Nah, not T Mac. Not this year.
05, 06.
Somebody that's kind of probably gonna be forgotten to history because he was really good for the time that he was good, but then he was kind of just like, then he was gone, or like it was a short-lived.
It's gonna be a random guess.
Short-lived prime, short-lived peak, I guess, or whatever you want to call it.
It's gonna be a random guess. I'm gonna go Danny Granger.
No, did not expect you to guess that though. But no, not Danny Granger. It's not. It's but yeah, but just think about that. A player that's probably not going to be remembered as time goes by for like, being a great player or whatever. Like we'll remember him because we watched like 10, 15, 20, 25 years, whatever. Nobody's really going to be talking about this player as like being anything really that good. But we'll remember him like for what, we'll remember his moments or like when we watched, like me and you probably, I will know, we saw him play, so we'll have an idea. But like, nobody's
Is he like
really
a Hall of Fame caliber career?
You know what? Probably not. But then thinking about it, like, could he have? That's a really good question. Could he have a case? I don't think so.
Oh, I'm wondering who this is now.
Damn.
But I don't want you to give it to me.
I never really thought about that. But nah, I don't think he.
We're in the game. Okay.
You know what?
I got another guess.
Nah, I don't think he should be like a Hall of Famer.
Is it like a
That's kind of
guard, wing,
wild
or a
though,
big?
because I feel like there's players that are probably worse than him that are going to be in the Hall of Fame. But you
Is
know
it
what?
like a?
Nah,
I
probably
need
not.
another guess. I got another guess. Is it a guard, wing, or a big?
Guard.
A guard?
I know, right? This is why I said it's a player that, like, you see, even you kind of forgetting him right now because it's a player just like,
29 a game?
yeah.
05, 06.
Mm-hmm.
Not Starberry. He
Nope.
won't give me 29 a game.
Absolutely not.
Wasn't AI point guard?
I mean, technically, yeah. I guess you say he's a combo guard, but like he kind of, yeah. I guess he was a point guard, but he didn't really play like a point guard. Let's say, but he had
He
point
was
guard.
just
He had some point guard skills. Yeah,
he's like straight
he,
buckets.
he was a bucket getter for sure.
I know this. Gilbert Arenas.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Dang.
Hibachi, yeah,
Dang. Hall of Famer. Oh, I gotta say nah.
I don't think so.
I gotta say nah. But that's a good debate. Gilbert
Yeah.
Arenas. Oh man, he used to serve it
And
up.
I think the reason why he probably will not be there is because his prime got cut short, because of injury.
Because of that, and that situation.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I forgot about that. Yeah. That probably eliminates him off the bat. Like they probably don't even want to vote for his ass.
With the tools.
Very controversial player.
He's still getting paid by the Wizards right now, though.
Which is it's actually pretty wild. Yeah.
He's still on a payroll. But yeah, Gilbert Arenas, man, he's
probably gonna be known
like,
more for his. He's probably gonna be known more for his podcast and then like post the retirement, like because he says a lot of controversial shit too. He gives a lot of like. He's always like talking about.
He does give some actual good basketball.
Yeah, he gets
he has some good basketball intellect.
Yeah,
and he has some good. Oh shoot, Serge and Tristan Thompson from the squabble. It's 2 minutes left, man. Y'all down like 30. They for the fight. Yeah, but man, but on the court though. Nah, Gilbert Arenas was a monster, dog. I remember like he gave Kobe 61 time.
62. I remember. That's when they were wearing those. I don't even think I see those jerseys anymore. They were wearing those black and gold Wizards jerseys. I used to like those jerseys.
Was it black and gold or was it all gold?
I think it was black, white, and like the pants I think were gold, I think.
Oh, okay. Well,
it was like gold on the top with like white letters, and then I think black shorts, I believe, with like stars or something like.
I guess he is kind of like a combo. Like a combo guard. But yeah, he was Gilbert Arenas was a monster, dog.
Nah.
I don't know about no.
He was one of the most fun players to watch, but he just yeah.
Who you like, Gilbert or Baron Davis?
Baron Davis.
BD.
Baron Davis. Yeah.
Baron Davis he was a really good defender too. Like I used to watch him a lot, but he was pretty good on defense.
I'm not on cap. I wasn't a fan, but I was rooting for them to beat Dallas that year. Super heavy. I was rooting for them to beat the Jazz, but that's also because I hate the Jazz and they lost.
That was 07, right?
Yeah. That was Dirk's MVP year. And then they choked in the first round to the 8th seed.
MVP
Warriors.
you lose in the first round.
Yeah.
That's kind of.
And what was crazy is like that year, like that was after they lost to Miami. They came back on they were on a mission. I think they had won 64, 65 games. They were like
maybe like 67 games.
Yeah, they had a crazy record. They were clearing away like the number one seed. It wasn't even close. Dirk got MVP. I forgot to say he got 50-40-90 that year as well. That was his first 50-40-90 year. So he got MVP, 50-40-90 season, losing the first round.
and that's crazy because Dirk, like people forget because of his the championship that he ended up winning, but Dirk had a lot of playoff like failures, and that's okay because like the more you fail, the more you learn, and when you like when you get that opportunity back, like you ain't gonna waste it. And he went against Miami and he
literally all it takes is one championship to shift the narrative on how people view, like people that like follow everything in and out year by year, and like they focus on every single player's individual seasons. They're gonna
they're
be
gonna
able
know.
to be like, yeah, but like
But
the
the
general
casual
consensus,
fans,
the story that they tell, what they write about you when it's all said and done, your legacy. If you have a championship, they're not even gonna be like, oh, like remember all those playoff failures and how he was. Because people used to call Dirk a choker for years. I remember people used to like. I remember like the same one, like if we talking football, like Peyton Manning used to get talked about. That's how Dirk used to get talked about, right? Like he's a great regular season, winning so many games, making the playoffs every year, then losing, going out in like whatever.
especially
like,
losing in the first round as the number 1 seed.
And for him, a lot of those years, it was like it was San Antonio that was beating them a lot of those years. Of course, when they made the finals, they lost to Miami, but it was San Antonio that was beating them. Then I think they even lost to the Kings actually a few of those years too. And
I remember not. It was what year? Because I watched the when did it was 05 playoffs.
They lost to the Kings that year. No, I think
they beat the Kings because they played San Antonio in the conference finals.
Yeah, you're right.
Because I went back and watched that series, and then I watched I watched Mavericks and Kings series because C Webb got hurt.
Yes, that's what happened. They had lost to the Kings the previous year. That year, C Webb got hurt, and they had that's when he tore his ACL, I think.
Yeah, and then sure did. And that was kind of like the end of the Kings at that.
Yeah, that was kind of the end of C Webb, like his being like a superstar.
But
because when he came back, he was terrible. Sure.
And back to that Dirk point, this is a way I can kind of tell if somebody is a hater, because and a lot of the times it be those fans who watch the season in and out. They've been watching since they were younger. They know the context of why this player didn't win a championship, why this, why that. But they only choose to apply it when that player succeeds. Like, for example, and I'm going to bring up LeBron. Every time LeBron has accomplished something, somebody always brings up the context. So let's say when LeBron won his first championship, he played kids in OKC. LeBron won his second championship. He got saved by Ray Allen, this and that. Third championship. Draymond got suspended. They always bring up this to discredit. Fourth championship. Oh, the bubble. This and that. But when he loses, it's never, he lost because, his Kyrie and Caleb were hurt. Or he lost because he was just overmatched by the Warriors. Like, something like that. It's not. It's like, he just lost. And they ignored the context of every situation instead of like analyzing it and giving credit where it's due. And if you don't know the context, that's different. But when you know the context and you choose to ignore it to try to diminish the player, that just shows right there that you're a hater. Because when you're discussing somebody winning and you bring up all the context compared to when you're discussing somebody losing and you ignore it all, it's like, are you really trying to have a real sports debate, or are you just trying to hate on this one guy? So whenever I'm I try not to speak on like certain players that I didn't like. I like it is not even enough to just go back and look at stats. It's really important to go back and watch these games, watch how things happen, even looking into certain things throughout the season to see how, like, why did it get to this point? That way you can have an honest conversation with somebody. Like, let me give an example.
One of the things you could say about, so like when people talk about the LeBron being saved by Ray Allen thing or whatever, yeah, that shot was huge. Maybe it was the biggest shot in NBA history. But who hit the three right before Ray Allen hit that three?
Who went off in the fourth quarter?
Yeah.
But
If
it's crazy.
if LeBron don't hit that three right before that, like, because y'all were like, they were, I mean, they were down and it was like dire situation.
Mm-hmm.
He had to hit that three before. Yeah.
And he had to like take over. He made some great defensive plays, made some great passes. He led their run to give them the lead, which they had lost, but then that game still went to overtime.
Mm-hmm. You still have to win. Exactly. You still have to win the game in OT. And then, of course, there's game 7 still. People just write it off. It's like, okay, like, yeah, but when they lost that, it was deflated. No, like, that's you can make that case, but it's like,
still got to go out there and produce.
The Spurs were still, like, right in that game 7. Like, that game was not a gimme or whatever.
Mm-hmm. So like, yeah, you still got to go out there and produce because, but, and it sucks though having that conversation with somebody who knows, but they choose to, like, ignore that so they can just, like, I don't know, so they can, like, bring the player down. And it's, I don't know. Like, I go back and watch so I know what to argue about. Like, even on, like, just regular things. But, that's just the nature of man, I guess.
Let's go into some of these. Let's go into some of this talk about your squad,
man.
The Lakers. What do you got to say, man? What you been feeling? What's the outlook for you right now?
We suck. That's the bottom line. I think that this. So I'm gonna go in order of what is wrong with us. For one, I think that the way the roster was built, like the idea behind it was good, which it typically is with teams. But the personnel to fit that idea isn't good. So that's what makes the roster suck. Like, we signed Kent Bazemore to play defense, to hit threes. If he does that at an effective level, it works out for us. But Kent Bazemore is unplayable. This is a guy. Yeah, I mean, this is a guy who will he be on the NBA roster next year? Like, I'm about to list some guys for us who may not be on an NBA roster next year. So Kent Bazemore is one. That's one guy we signed. Avery Bradley, who
was like, he had some moments for y'all, like, before the bubble season.
Yeah,
in that year, but
he did. He wasn't able to come to the bubble due to his son and stuff. But I think he played for Miami last year and ended up getting, like, released or something like that.
He just wasn't. By the Warriors too.
Right before the season started, he was let go by the Warriors. We picked him up, and a few games into the season, he was starting. And it's like, you pick up somebody like that, he's been, like, very inconsistent. He's been in the rotation as of late, but sometimes he isn't in the rotation. Will he be on the roster next year? On the NBA roster? I don't know. I'm going to put him down. Avery Bradley. DeAndre Jordan, I'm not even going to talk about him. DeAndre Jordan started, like, 18 games for us this year.
Never have I seen a player get released from a team so fast after one play.
He threw that freaking pass, dog.
And they threw
I
him off the
said, dude,
team. They literally threw him off the team. They're like, all right,
the
all right,
the
bro.
very next game they kicked him out the team. That's hilarious. Who else? Trevor Ariza. He came into this year hurt. You hope for TA to be a two-way threat for you. On defense, he's it's like he's one of those guys who knows where to be, and
just old.
but his body doesn't allow him. And
which is so
on
funny
offense,
because like I think he's like the same age as LeBron, right?
yeah, he's the same as LeBron. They had a battle in high school. Like if you type it in, they like had a one of those rivalry type things. Like they went against each other in high school. And you look at him now, you like, bro, you supposed to be. Well, you're not supposed to be like LeBron because LeBron is an anomaly.
He's a freak.
But it's
still like, damn, you can't just even be good in your role. Like, I mean, like we're not asking you to be LeBron, just like, but yeah, he's just
but you can't consistently shoot, you can't consistently play defense due to your age. But
yeah,
so that's another dude, Trevor Ariza. Put him down.
But
who's been kind of
disappointment? Taylor Horton Tucker, THT.
Yeah. Well, I'm listening. I'm listening to players who won't be who like will they be in the NBA next year?
THT definitely gonna be in the NBA next year.
Yeah, for sure.
He got some money to get paid still. Man.
Oh yeah, for sure. No, and THT he's still a quality NBA player. It's just his fit with the Lakers is because he can't shoot. Like when I get the ball, I do like when he gets the ball to shoot. I do like this because are you gonna make it THT? I don't know. But who else? And this guy has kind of been a disappointment, but it's understandable because he's starting to show his age, and that's Dwight. Dwight is sometimes you notice him out there, other times you notice him out there for the wrong reasons. Like yesterday against Cleveland, he was so bad. Like Dwight a couple seasons ago, even last year with Philly, he was a very good defensive center. He like in the pick and roll, he always like moved his feet well, moved his hands, coming back to the big, block a shot. Only thing he does, I can say he does well consistently now, is attack the offensive glass. He's a low down there still, but just defensively, like he's very inconsistent compared to last year and the year that he was with the Lakers a couple seasons ago. And it's like, bro, Dwight, like, dang, Bones Highland's tough for real, but will he be on the NBA roster next year? I don't know. Maybe Dwight will retire because he just got his license to be a pastor, I think, or like a preacher. And he can, and he can marry somebody now. So maybe that's something he's gonna go into besides playing ball.
No, I don't know about that.
For real, he
gonna make that a business for real? I don't know about that, but yeah.
So that's another guy, Dwight. That's 5 guys right there, rotation players. Who else? We have some other players who we ended up signing that played some minutes for us that we don't know if they're going to be on the roster next year either. DJ Augustine, who wasn't he released by the Rockets?
Yeah, which is he's been like all over the place. I feel like this man's been on like every team in the NBA. He only probably been on.
He actually played really good yesterday. He had 20 points off the bench. He didn't miss a shot.
Yeah.
But I didn't notice him in no other game before that.
He's like the
So
definition to me of like a serviceable point guard that you could put out there and like,
at
run your
his
team.
best,
Yeah.
but now it's like
Yeah.
he's a little consistent. But if he can shoot, he can be out there with LeBron.
Yeah.
As long as you be able to shoot.
I didn't say good. I just said serviceable.
Okay, yeah.
but no, he has his moments. He definitely has like he still could be like a quality backup on occasion. But yeah, he's.
So I can now I can go into Taylor Horton Tucker. He's like somebody who I thought would show some drastic improvement. I know his first 3 games when he started he didn't even start the season off. And then he came in, and that's when LeBron was out, and he was going to work. I think he was giving us like 26 a game or something crazy like that, like 40% from 3. I'm like, man, THT, you can. The starting 2 spot is yours, and after that, I think THT is shooting below like 25% outside of the restricted area this year. I have to confirm that, but below like 25%. Anything outside of the paint, this dude is buns. And I'm like, dang, THT. But he's young. He still has room for growth. But his production relative to his contract is not there. Another guy who I'm extremely disappointed by hasn't even played this season. Our mid-level exception, Kendrick Nunn. This dude played in the preseason. He played this one really good preseason game. He made this nice move. I'm like, oh yeah, I like Kendrick Nunn. He can't even play all season. And especially when you have 3 max players on your team, that mid-level exception guy you have to hit on him because the rest of the players on your team, like Ken Bazemore, Avery Bradley, Trevor Ariza, Dwight, all those guys are gonna be veteran minimums. So they like hit or miss really for veteran minimums. But somebody who's actually taking up portion of your cap space, like a mid-level exception, you got to hit on that person. And I thought we hit with Kendrick Nunn. He hasn't even played all season. So it's like, bro, like I think Kendrick Nunn is like a really good point guard to have around LeBron and AD because he can shoot the ball. He can be like a secondary ball handler, somebody who can punch it on you too. He can go in the lane, and he's miniature, but he competes like really hard on defense, and he can get to that ball handler. I think Frank Vogel would like him defensively, kind of similar to Avery Bradley in a way, because Frank Vogel loves Avery Bradley for whatever reason. This dude is obsessed with him. He'll play him forever, even though he be tripping. But yeah, we missed big time with Kendrick Nunn because he hadn't even played all year. But we have some positives that I like from this season. As far as like the roster goes, I like Malik Monk. We got Malik Monk on the minimum. I think that was a huge steal. It'd be hard to keep him. We gotta get creative with the
He's
roster
probably
and
the
the
one player that's
payroll.
like really like lived up to like he's played his role for sure, like well this year.
Yeah, I think he exceeded it because he
for
was
sure accurate.
Because Malik Monk is like 23, 24, and he signed a minimum deal. And I think he was saying like a lot of teams weren't really looking at him, but I know for sure like this
I kind
upcoming
of forget
summer.
that he's like only 23 too. That's kind of like
Yeah,
I don't know why I feel like he's older.
Yeah, he came in the league with Lonzo, De'Aaron Fox, like those guys. So it's like he's pretty a little overlooked, but he's been balling for us. Like it was a stretch where I think recently earlier this year he wasn't shooting the ball well, but he shows up. He's a consistent somebody like that you have to look out for when you playing the Lakers. When LeBron has the ball, you got to watch Monk. He'll cut, he'll dunk on you, he'll pull a three from deep. He can create his own shot, which has been extremely helpful for us, like on the offensive end. Defensively, he's undersized. He's not good, but I have seen him compete defensively. He's athletic, so sometimes he'll block a shot. Like I see him block Karis LeVert yesterday on playing help defense. He had a nice block for us like the full quarter, which is pretty nice. Just showing his athleticism and how he's able to compete defensively. So I like Malik Monk. Austin Reeves, I really like him because he's really raw. He's a rookie. But something that we miss is just basically just playing hard. Like a lot of times, a lot of nights, we just not playing hard. And Austin Reeves, he does that every single night. And sometimes that gives us juice to play the game, especially like play it the right way. Oh, that was tough. And he's unselfish. I think Austin Reeves is going to eventually be like a sniper in this league. That's the way he shoots the ball. He's good as a shooter. He's inconsistent, but once he like trains, gets his NBA body right, I think he's going to be nice. Stanley Johnson, and he started off with 10 days for us. I thought that he played his role really well. He's been asked to do a lot due to injuries and whatnot, but he's impressed me a lot, especially defensively. Something that we were really missing, some defense, because it was a point in time we couldn't guard nobody. We still can't really guard nobody, but he gives us some athleticism and defense. He doesn't shoot the ball well, but occasionally he can hit some threes, and that helps us out. So that's some positives with the roster. Okay. The second point I want to get into is coaching. So there are times when I understand why certain things, like we aren't good because this roster isn't good. But there are other times Vogel has the right. Sometimes Vogel can have the personnel to win this game, and he doesn't deploy it a lot of the times. And I'd be like, bro, like, what are you thinking about? And if we suck defensively, why is Vogel the coach? Because Vogel is very, like, I haven't seen like nothing he does to get us like great offense. It's like our offense is, hey LeBron, you run it. Like besides and then I watch like the Utah Jazz and other and the Suns, they play so fluently and like the ball pops and it's beautiful to watch offensively. And with the Lakers, it's kind of like ISO ball. A lot of times I don't know how, but and that's kind of how it's been since Vogel has been the coach. But it's been okay because we've been able to be one of the best defensive teams in the league. So
yeah. I mean, to be fair though, I guess also a huge part of that is personnel.
Yeah, a huge part of that is personnel
because I did have like top level defenses the previous years, and then
now, like, I don't think this roster is very Vogel friendly because we lost KCP, Caruso, guys who give us a lot of speed, a lot of ball pressure. Kuzma, who's improved a lot defensively. Like I watched Kuzma since a rookie, And by the time he
Y'all
left the
got
Lakers,
older on the perimeter. Y'all got guys that
older on the perimeter.
don't move their feet as much.
Yeah.
And you're without, your most versatile defender for a lot of the year.
Yeah. And that's some of it is and some of it, like our failures is due to injury to LeBron, but mostly to, of course, Anthony Davis. This dude has to stay on the floor, dog. And it's not like they are tic-tac injuries. Like, I watched the games. Those are legit injuries. But, like, something like, I don't know. He got to be out there. There's no way we can win, especially with the way this roster is constructed, without him consistently being on the floor. And that's the same. The same goes with LeBron. We can't win consistently without either one of those guys because they are the core pieces of our team. And getting to the number one reason I'm gonna say was an offseason, the deal to acquire Westbrook. Now, let me say this: I do not think. Oh, the layup. I do not think Westbrook gets washed, like some people say. I still think Russ is very capable of being a great player. I think even possibly making the All-Star team. Like, I don't think he's washed, but his fit with LeBron and AD sucks. Like, I think that because he doesn't shoot the ball well, and the way he has played, like, I'm watching this dude, it's like he's in his head a lot. Like, these past 3 games we've been playing, he's been playing with a lot more confidence, and his perimeter shot is falling, which is helping. And he had like a 20-point triple double. He had like almost another triple double, and we won. But throughout the season, he's been very inconsistent. He plays in his head a lot. He's not good defensively. He's not a good shooter. Like, if you play around LeBron and AD, you have to be able to knock down shots. You can't be just somebody who just floats around. And you look at his numbers, he's giving you like 18, 7, and 7, which are good numbers. But the problem is Russ makes $45 million. That's the most on the Lakers. That's the most by any Lakers player. So technically, if you go by payroll, he should be the best player on the team. When in reality, his contract should be like more like a $20 million contract. Like, if I was getting 18, 7, and 7, I should have Reggie Jackson on my team. Like, I should have
fair,
like
though, when y'all signed him, y'all knew he was never going to be like even like the second best player on the team.
Yeah,
I mean, when y'all traded for him, but yeah, I know.
Yeah, and that's fine. Because he's not. But
there's been times this year where he didn't look like even the third best player. That's the problem.
Yeah, and it was just it was some dark nights, and it was some, I don't know. It's
dark nights.
And I was like, bro, like, what is he? I don't know. I was like, bro, what is he doing? And I just feel like in order for us to recover in the offseason, we have to trade him, because the identity we had the past couple seasons had worked. Like, the first time we had LeBron and AD, with our identity, we won a championship. The next year, we had like the second best record, that we were affected by injury, so we dropped to the play-in, won the play-in game. We're up in the playoffs, then injuries affected us again. But the identity of having our 2 superstars and having complementary role players works. Russ just isn't complimentary. Like he'll put up the numbers. Some nights he'll look great. He'll compliment great, depending on how his perimeter shot is falling. Other nights he won't, i.e. the Minnesota game. But in order to rebuild that, I think we have to trade him to get complementary pieces to fit back around AD and LeBron. Get some of these old guys out of here. Kent Bazemore, Avery Bradley, Trevor Ariza. Maybe bring Melo back. Melo, he's older, but he's reliable most nights. He sucks defensively. Watching him defensively is hard to watch. But I remember he had like one good defensive game. It was against San Antonio. He was just blocking so many shots. I was like, what's going on? But other than that, yeah, Melo isn't good defensively, but I still like him to be a part of the roster next year. But in order for us to rebuild and be back in championship contention next year, we have to get off the Russ contract, get back complementary pieces, and we got to hit on our mid-level exception. Unless Kendrick Nunn comes back, we'll see. And we have to hit on some of our other vet minimums. But yeah, this year has been tough to watch. We technically still alive. We can win the playing game, but then we'll have to play like the best team in the league to go into the playoffs. So we'll have to win 2 playing games actually.
It would at least be interesting if AD makes it back and y'all at least are healthy for that. To see the Sun series again with like maybe everybody healthy. I don't know. It's not gonna be the same because obviously you have a different roster, you have rest and everything. But we'll be interested.
Yeah. And that's one thing that's going. People gonna say, oh well, they gonna be like, well, if the Lakers were healthy, they would have beat the Suns, and then this year we play the Suns, we'll lose. They be like, that's the same, but people know, like the context of that. This is a completely different Lakers team. This Lakers team. So last year Lakers team was good when everybody was healthy. That. Don't even play. But people want to leave out that kind of stuff. It's kind of it bothers me a little, but it's kind of funny at the same time. But
I mean, like y'all were looking like y'all were going to win this series last year before.
Yeah, but even then, this is a completely different Lakers team. Like we had, like go back and watch. We was locking them up.
No, defensively, it's not even close. It's night and day.
Yeah, so it's I don't know, but another positive
offensively too. Offensively, because actually, I'm pretty sure y'all are still a better defensive team this year than y'all are an offensive team, right? I want to say like that's still the case, which is
like a little, yeah. We like 17th, I think, and offensively we like 23rd or something like that.
Yeah, and so it's like,
but I mean, something that has been kind of kept me watching is watching LeBron. He's been balling out, leading the league in scoring this year. That's been very fun to watch, especially because he's so old. I always say he's too old to be this cold. But yeah, that dude been
37.
I think 30 freaking 7. He may walk away with the scoring check. Him and Embiid play each other tomorrow, so they're gonna be going for that. Of course, I think Philly gonna win because they're the better team, but they gonna be. I think they both gonna try to get some.
He passed Carmelo for number 2 all time, and if he gets the scoring title this year, he will be the oldest player in NBA history to lead the league in scoring. Since
I think he'll be the oldest player to. Yeah, I think he'll be the oldest player to average 30 too. In the season.
Yeah. I think Jordan averaged it was over 30, I think too, but it was but he was 35.
LeBron 37.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I think Curry had the highest points per game by somebody 30 something like and
Is that what it
younger
was?
last year. Last year, I think he averaged
Might
like
be.
but yeah, it's like it seemed like every day LeBron is just setting some new precedent, some new record, and he's year 19 still in MVP form, and all these people saying Lakers need to trade LeBron, do all this. Y'all dumb.
Yeah, I think that's what it was. I think Curry had the most points per game for a player, I think, after 30. Because he
Yeah,
had,
but
32 points per game? Yeah.
all these players saying Lakers need to trade LeBron. All these people, nah, y'all should. I say just rebuild the identity with AD and LeBron. Go to work in the off season and write this shit. Don't break up AD and LeBron. Y'all crazy.
Yeah. A lot of people were saying trade AD as well. I saw that too. But I'm like,
Tripping.
it would all, like, what do you, it would really be depending on what are you trying to get back from that? So it's like, when he's healthy, that's a great duo. There's not really, you can't really like.
And I saw somebody said if Portland is really trying to build something with Dame, they'll send Anthony Simons, some other pieces, and a whole lot of picks to the Lakers for LeBron. So it'll be LeBron and Dame in Portland. LeBron not gonna go to no Portland. Y'all crazy. I like now in the back of my mind, I'm like, dang, it would be nice to see Dame and LeBron together. But at the front of my brain, the most of my brain, I'm like, no, that's dumb. But yeah, that's my plan to fix the Lakers, man. We gotta rebuild this identity. Even though I like Russ, I don't think he's washed this, but he does not compliment all stars. You gotta find a way to get off him. Hit on all veteran minimums, and I feel like we could be back. But you know, this season has been tough to watch. But I'm gonna keep watching because that's what I
do. So, NBA standings right now, matchups, and also like these play-in situations. Right now, if the playoffs start today, we'd have what? We'd have Toronto and Brooklyn in the play-in, and we'd have in the East Atlanta and Charlotte, LaMelo, and
Charlotte.
Trae Young, in the play-in.
Yeah, that'd be cool, man. So, you want to do our predictions of how we think those games will go?
Yeah,
if it were to start now.
I mean, yeah. So I mean, like if Toronto was to play Booker right now, it would be in Toronto. So that would be no Kyrie Irving.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, like, I honestly could see that going either way, to be honest.
Yeah.
I would probably have to pick the Nets just because I'm like, is KD really going to lose? Am I really going to pick against KD in like a single game elimination where he's the best player by far?
Mm-hmm.
Probably not. But I wouldn't be surprised. Like that's the type of like craziness that this year is that Kyrie doing what he's doing. They get in that situation. Let's say KD does, have a big game, but they lose. It's just going to be a disaster. And also Ben Simmons, like this man still hasn't played. This man, like now they're saying he has now they're saying the back injury
disc.
Yeah, I'm like, what? How does this man get a herniated disc? He didn't even play basketball. I'm like, I really don't know, but yeah, he might not play at all. He might not play until who knows, like the last couple games after that. So
I don't even know herniated disc. That sounds painful. I don't know if I'm gonna play with that. I don't even know what that is. But yeah, that's kind of that's weird to say the least. With the whole Ben Simmons deal,
Yeah,
with the
something is up with that
Toronto
whole
and
situation.
yeah, with Toronto and the Nets, I gotta second that. What you say, um, I can see Toronto winning, especially given that Kyrie can't play if the game was in Toronto, and but I could also see the Nets winning because Kevin Durant's one of the greatest players, not just right now, the greatest player in NBA history, and in the game to make the playoffs. How you gonna bet against KD? Like he's
Yeah,
gonna give you at least 40, and if he has some help from like Seth Curry or any some guys like that, they can very well walk away. Now on the Raptors side, they got some good coaching
yeah, like they could
from
like
Nick Nurse. They could take
no.
like the blueprint from how the Mavericks defended
Not
KD.
yet. They did a really good job. They forced him to they double teamed him a lot, forced him to give up the
Yeah,
ball, and he didn't even have like one of his. He didn't have a good shooting night either that game.
yeah. He had a big three, but then Spencer Dinwiddie hit the three to end the game. But that's a good blueprint to have, especially when you don't have another good ball handler like Ben Simmons or another person you
Scoring
can
threat like
go
Kyrie.
to score like Kyrie in the single game elimination. Steve Nash and KD have to know that if they are in that situation and Kyrie isn't playing, that you have to expect that and get the other players ready to produce. But that's gonna be an interesting dilemma. Um, we'll see.
I
Another thing
actually,
I want
hmm?
to another thing I want to see is Kyrie actually gonna let KD go out there by himself and
In like a
and
elimination situation.
and even in the playoffs, if they were to make the playoffs,
Yeah,
like you gonna let you gonna we'll see. Interesting,
I
but
think
when
he is,
Kyrie's
man.
out there, he's a beast. He's a beast, but I want to see him hoop. But I mean, I got respect whatever it is he's standing for as a man. But you gonna let your brother hang like that? We'll see.
Nah, I don't got no respect for it.
I
He tripping.
mean,
He tripping, man. He need to go out there. He wild. He like this. It's been like however many months of ball that he missed, and then he still. It's not even like it's in the handsets.
he a grown man, though. So I mean, you make your decisions. Well, however you choose to do it, that's cool. But you can't expect all these changes and
Yeah, but I
like
remember he
the
had
one
like some
person who
kind of
can change this is you.
yeah. I remember he had some kind of like comment about like making sacrifices and stuff, and I'm like if you want to make you talking about making sacrifices, then you the one that hasn't made the sacrifice. Everybody else on the team is playing. Everyone else is available to play in the home
Yeah,
games.
they the one sacrificing. But
But
come
yeah,
with Kyrie. So uh who would you take in a come on Morris in
with
a
the ATL and
in Charlotte?
yeah,
So that game would be in Charlotte, right? If it
right
were to
now,
be
yeah,
played,
yeah, right now I'd be in Charlotte, yeah.
yeah, I probably would go with Charlotte
And that one's in a
because
single elimination because they 9-10, so whoever loses that is out of there. Because I think,
yeah,
yeah,
it's a
because 7-8 gets a second chance.
yeah, it's a 9-10. Yeah, that one I'll probably go with Charlotte because though Trae Young is the best player, I just think that
They've been really, yeah. I don't know if you could trust them.
yeah, I don't know either. And another thing to look out for is Charlotte was in this situation last year. I think they played a. Oh, that was nice, Terrence, man. they played a single elimination game. I think it was against Boston, if I'm not wrong. No, against Indiana, and they sucked. I remember like
Yeah, they got
LaMelo.
Boston.
Yeah, LaMelo. He was coming off that wrist injury, so he wasn't shooting the ball well. But they have like nice pieces. They probably the most average team all season. Like they won as much as they lost on the road and at home.
Yeah, I remember seeing that stat where it was like every breakdown of their team winning this year was like 500.
Mm-hmm. So it's pretty, I don't know, pretty funny to look at. But I mean, not the series, but that game.
I probably would say Charlotte. I would want Atlanta to win just because I think it would make the next game more interesting. Like the next matchup, if it's going to be, let's say if the Nets lose, then I think Hawks and Nets would be more fun. But I think either matchup would be more fun. But I think the Hornets are probably going to win. Just I like the Hawks defense has been so bad this year, and that was like one of their biggest strengths last year. I just don't know if I trust them in one game to do what they need to do defensively, and the Hornets have they've been more consistent this year, even though like their records are very similar. At least on both sides of the ball, they've been more consistent. So no, I would probably lean towards the Hornets. Playing right now in the West is y'all and the Pelicans right now. 9-10. And it's
Okay.
Minnesota and the Clippers. Yeah.
Man, it's tough because, and this is very interesting because like the Pelicans, they traded away AD a few seasons ago, and now you ask me like a couple seasons later, would they be fighting for playoffs? Would the Lakers be fighting for a playoff spot against the Pelicans? I'd be like, you crazy. But turns out that's just how things go. I want to choose us so bad. I mean, I'm gonna choose us, of course, to beat the Pelicans. That's what it looked like the matchup would be. We still have yet to see who will be at home. I think right now, as it's standing, we will be at home, but it's only like one game separated. And I think they have the tiebreaker right now. I think we play like 2 more times before the season ends.
That's gonna be interesting because we're
gonna get a good feel of who they are. They don't have Brandon Ingram right now, and we don't have Anthony Davis. Hope to get AD back before the season ends, so he'll be ready for that playing game. And Zion won't return until next season anyway. They just announced he just be out for the rest of the season. No reason to bring him back. But in a single elimination game, never been against LeBron. I don't care if it's LeBron, me, you, and 2 other guys walking down the street right now. I'm not betting against LeBron. That said, the way I think this roster is constructed, I do not know what I'm getting day in and day out. Over these past 3 games, I feel like we should be on a 3-game winning streak. We gave that 4th quarter against the Wizards away, but we kind of built like an identity. Russ has been playing much better, and the type of identity we've built, AD can slide right into that. But then again, we just been way too inconsistent this year, and it's kind of hard to expect something from those guys, even in a game like that. I'll kind of lean our way because we have experienced players. We have obviously the best player in the game, which is LeBron. Well, I want to say the best player in that game. Best player in the league, that's a different conversation. I still think LeBron is right there, but that's another conversation for another day. But and we have the second best player if AD is there. So I won't bet against us now. If we're on the road, it could be questionable, but I definitely got to choose us over New Orleans. Shout out to Brandon Ingram though, one of my favorite players. I hope he's able to play, but we'll see when that time comes. But
Yeah, if
who would you
80's back
take?
by if 80's back by then, I'm definitely for sure going with y'all to win that game. Of course, if Ingram's not out, then yeah, obviously definitely going with y'all too. I do remember that one game that y'all just like got blasted by them, and that was that game. CJ went off in that game. I remember.
Oh, yeah,
But
it was at home, and
yeah,
it was terrible.
that was when it
We
was
didn't
like
have.
people were
I
like,
don't think we
"Oh,
had
the
AD.
Lakers
Huh?
have hit rock bottom." Nah, AD didn't play. He was out.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I don't think that would happen if he's playing. But that's really kind of like where I'm concerned is But if everyone for the Pelicans are playing and 80's out, I think I actually nah. I'm taking the Lakers.
Yeah, because it's.
Yeah, I can see y'all. I can see them winning that in a game situation like that without AD. But like, it's hard for me. It's
I
hard for
can
me to
see it
say.
too because
Yeah,
it's like the way I don't know, bro. I just don't know what I'm getting. I see they trying. I just don't know what I'm getting. Maybe we'll see how the rest of these games go. If we and I said this the other day, I was talking to somebody. I said if we suck just because we not good, I take that. But if we suck because we not playing hard, that's what kind of makes me mad. That's what pisses me off. So if we go into these playoff, like we go into the playing game, we got like 10 games left. We go like 5-5 or something like that. But if we playing hard and we just losing because we undersized, missing AD, stuff like that. I'm okay with it. Now if we losing because we just not playing hard, I'm not gonna like that, especially going into a playing game because this is basically a playoff game. So I'm not gonna be able
yeah.
to
Because yeah, the
to
9-10,
to
yeah,
expect y'all
that's
to.
single.
I'm not gonna expect y'all to give y'all effort and play hard. If I haven't seen it all season, and if I see it the last 10, 11 games in the regular season, then I have some real hope. Only reason I'm mainly just picking us by default is because we got LeBron, and I won't bet against him.
Yeah, that's
No
kind of what
type
it
of
comes down
situation.
to in a large part. Like when we're talking about like KD and the Nets going against Toronto, and even same situation here. Even if Kyrie's out, even if LeBron, and even if AD's out, it's kind of hard to pick against them in a
Yeah.
series where they're so clearly the best player in the series.
Uh,
Like if there was
all right.
like,
Go ahead.
no, I was saying if there was like another star, like a legitimate star on the other team, I would probably be more hesitant. But I'm like,
Like
yeah, CJ went off in that game.
Zion.
Yeah, if Zion was playing, yeah, like I guess like
Oh,
Ingram could play and CJ could play. Maybe they could both go crazy. But I don't know. Like I still would. I would need to see that happen. I would still expect one of them to probably not have that good of a game. And the only thing that gives me concern is Russ. Russ
yeah.
gives me concern that game.
Russ
And
give me concerns too. Now I think Russ is very capable,
yeah,
but then
he can go out
again,
there and
you have
have like a 25 point triple double or something. He could have a game like that.
mm-hmm.
But he also can come out there and have like 9-10 turnovers and shoot like 1 for 6 from
and
3 or something.
that's scary.
Yeah.
It's extremely scary. The way he has very much influence on how we succeed, and that could be a negative thing and a positive thing. So we have to wait and see how he does. But that's basically a playoff game.
Yeah, it's a single elimination too because it's the 9-10 matchup. So if y'all lose, y'all out. There's
Yeah.
no second game unless
So
y'all can move up. But yeah,
we can get into actually that 8-7 matchup.
yeah,
Will be right now. Will be Minnesota and the Clippers, right?
Yeah, but they dang, I didn't realize they were that far apart. Yeah, they're like 5 games up on
You
y'all.
know, it's crazy. The Timberwolves. This is the thing that sucks about that. The Timberwolves are closer to like the third seed or something than they are to like the seventh than the
but
seventh seed.
they gonna be in the play.
But they have to be in the playing game,
Yeah,
and
which
that's
is
crazy.
funny.
I was just looking talking to one of my friends the other day. It was I think it was the 2006 or 2007 season. Dallas, they finished like the seventh seed, and they won like 51 games or something like that. A team win 51 games, they are a good team. Like, this is a good basketball team. And let's say that was in today's NBA, you ha- you still have to play in the playing game, even though you
Yeah.
win. So that's kind of sucks. Now, I like how they did it, like in the bubble with the playing games. If you are within a certain amount of games of the next seed, then you have to be in the playing game. But the way Minnesota and the Clippers are separated right now, watch the Minnesota have to give up their playoff seat, potentially
Mm-hmm.
because of this stupid playing thing. Like I don't like it personally. I just think you should go back to top eight seeds, make the playoffs, you make it. You know, the season ends.
Yeah, I know they added
Now
it for drama and it's to make it
it's
like yeah.
it's fun to watch, but I don't think it's fair. Like, let's just say the Lakers finish this season as the 10th seed.
But then y'all don't even make the playoffs at all. So yeah, so yeah.
But let's say we end up winning two playing games. And let's say Chris Paul is still out and Devin Booker is hurt or something like that.
Y'all knock out the Suns.
And we'll knock out the Suns.
Look at you. Look at you.
Let's just say we'll end up
creating this fantasy scenario right now.
I'm creating a little scenario, but I'm just saying that's so like you revisit basketball history. Like, this 10th seed team won the championship. Like last year, the Grizzlies were ninth and they made it because Golden State lost to us, and
they
then
lost
Golden
to
State lost to Memphis. So the ninth seed made the playoffs, and it's like, I don't know. I just feel like it adds drama to the end of the season for sure. So it's from a fan's perspective, it's
you
it's fun
you just gave
to watch.
you just gave a whole reason why it would be great. Lakers go from 10 seed to knocking out the 1 seed.
I mean, it's a great story, but
Yeah,
I really don't think it's fair in a way. But you know, see how it plays out. But in that playing game, the Timberwolves and the Clippers, I would pick the Timberwolves because even though I think the Clippers are very well coached, they just missing they start players. And Minnesota, the way Minnesota has been playing at the All-Star break has been like freaking ridiculous, bro. They've been like balling. Cat been on another level. I think Ant started to like regain his form a little bit. He been off, but they had D'Angelo Russell, had Patrick Beverly. I don't think Patrick Beverly has ever missed the playoffs in his career, and I just think
is
that's
that true?
way too
Damn,
much. Mm-hmm. You don't think he
you're
ever missed
actually
the
probably
playoffs in
right.
his career? Mm-hmm. So,
That's
and
actually kind of funny.
they'll be playing at home against the Clippers. I think they just overwhelm them because they're like one of the highest scoring teams in the league. Like they got so many people who can just get buckets on you. So it's in that playing game. I just think the Minnesota be too lethal, and they'll just handle the Clippers.
I'm looking at the standings and like Minnesota's really like they're 2 games. Yeah, they're 2 games apart from what 5, 5 and 6 are separated by 2. I mean, they're 1 game back from the Nuggets, so like the Nuggets could easily end up back end up in the plan as well. The Nuggets are the 6th spot right now.
Mm.
Dallas is
They're
actually
playing.
yeah.
They're actually playing the Clippers right now too, which is Trey dropped 45. I took him too. So who would you take in that scenario? Timberwolves or the Clippers?
Mm. I mean, the Clippers have been really surprising this year, to be honest. Like the way they've been able to win games with like the roster that they've had and all the different lineups that they've been putting out there. Um, I'm gonna pick Minnesota. They have probably the two best players in the series. Um, but yeah, I mean, like that's just one I really wouldn't. I don't know if I would be surprised if the Clippers somehow pulled it off because they've had a lot of surprising wins this year. Like a
Yeah,
lot of like,
and
they've been
they
doing
are
unexpected stuff a lot. So
one of the best fourth quarter clutch teams in the league, and they come back from a lot of deficits too. So I could see it, but I can't. I don't know. I don't. I just don't think I can pick.
yeah, I don't think I can pick it either. Now, like, what's interesting about that whole like because of how that scene is right now, it could be who knows it could be we could end up seeing Mavericks and Clippers again. Literally, we could end up seeing Mavericks and Clippers again because they literally like they're only 2 games back basically from being in the play themselves. That would just be funny.
Man, for
Mavericks
real,
Clippers, third time in a row. This time playing.
Luka.
Yeah, Luca
Luka
finally
get his.
going maybe this would probably be the time Luca finally actually knocks them off because ain't no
Yeah,
Kawhi,
I
ain't no
think.
yeah.
I think Luka get his revenge for real. He'll kill him. There's no Pat Beverly on that side either. Yeah, I think
Yeah,
he'll
that's
he'll
true.
murder him.
I actually kind of low key kind of want to see that. Kind of want to see Mavericks Clippers play,
Yep,
and then
that'd be cool.
just for like because
Cause
it
he's
would
only
just be
played
funny.
2 playoff series and they both been against.
Yeah, and it would just be a kind of like it would be the Clippers again somehow.
Yeah. What Dallas sitting right now?
They 5 right now, but they only 2 games up on the Timberwolves,
Uh,
and the Nuggets like 1 game up on the Timberwolves. Like
mm.
not even like half a game actually because they played one less game than the Timberwolves.
They play in Dallas. Not Dallas. Denver. They playing the Clippers right now. They up
Yeah.
11 at halftime.
Yeah, if they lose right now, they would be tied with the Timberwolves if they lost this game tonight.
Mm.
Um, but yeah, I just don't. Yeah, that's actually kind of what I'm hoping for. I'm hoping for Mavericks Clippers to play. Um,
I
all
want medium.
right, but yeah.
No.
Anyways, close this out, man.
All right. Thank y'all for everybody tuning in to the Double Dribble podcast. With Drew and Destin. We'll be back next week. All right, everybody. Peace.
All right, later.